Okay, back again. One of our cats had brought in a dead bird. Right, yeah, I was thinking this was Plantard. If we go P... I think that's how you spelt it, wasn't it? Lost that there. R. Right, we'll see if that works out. I think it was Plantard, wasn't it? Trail. What would that be? What's he called? Plantard? I can't remember. That doesn't really make sense there. What's he called? Plantard. If I can get the spelling of that. I don't want to come out of there and have it reset. Yeah, it is Plantard. Right. And it usually starts with a name. But I mean, what's this? That would have to be a name as well, probably. Usually ends on a name. What happens if that's an I? Pierre? We had a Pierre, and that would make sense with the two symbols the same. Murderer. Must. Contact Pierre. Killed. Murderer must. Vigilant, would that be? We must be vigilant. So that's a W. Where's the G? Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed. Must have. Trail from Arno and was that Yamada? I think. He will come for us.
Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arnaud and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her, and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell a story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Okay. Right, out we go.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors.
He's not going to get his photo taken.
A woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
So what we're going to do now? Do we phone? That door's locked still.
The door was locked.
Can we make a phone call?
I didn't need to call anyone.
Okay.
I needed to take a closer look at the objects I'd found in Plantard's pouch.
I thought I'd done that.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel, in the room below the conciergerie. The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel, in the room below the conciergerie.
So we could use that to open that, could we? Is that what it's trying to say?
The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
An hour later. Let's go back in here.
The slab was too heavy for me to lift.
Oh, did we have to do all this again? Then we need to put the shell in there. Hold that up. Then we need to put this key in here. No. Yeah? I can't remember. I think it was actually the other cylinder. Yeah. You shrug your shoulders if you like. I tried a drain pipe in the side alley with Georges. Let's open this bit up. The drain pipe broke off from memory. Oh, here we go, look. We need to use this on there. Ah, stop moving the camera. I missed it. Try again. Yeah, Georges was gonna...
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
He thought he was nimble enough to climb the drain pipe, but it came away from the wall. Yeah. Okay. Oh, does he? Oh, okay. I shall have to go back there. What's happened to all the paper?
A photograph had been torn up.
Okay. Or we're going to have a puzzle putting it back together.
If I could just arrange the pieces.
Okay. Move the mouse. Okay.
Oh my God. It can't be.
It's the other half of the photo, because we've got one half. Where's his collar? There. That must go in there. There we go.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Oh, okay. Later that afternoon. Here's George.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Has he got onions over the front of his bike? And hopefully we'll maybe get to take her back to the where the drain pipe is. She's probably not going to do anything unless I ask for my fortune.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know? How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Onions belong in a bedside drawer. Why do they belong in a bedside drawer?
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
Yeah, we knew that.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
She knows no nose.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Okay.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden, but I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with an hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur, you will.
Yeah, I want to go in.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop this story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
So there's a big cover-up.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A
A
penguin?
snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cochon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death. Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was
Squirrel
the time
hair?
I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
What about the squirrel hair?
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants.
Same
the same
material.
as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
They obviously added that line in about the crescent. Take a look at his cheek. It was sounded slightly different.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
Oh, you're probably right there. Yeah. It was just a strange thing for her to be looking for, I thought.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume. How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but... Well, I had a job to do. I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Costume shop. Or the police. That's the cafe, that's her house, and that's the police. Let's go to this one. The unicorn with a skeleton on top.
The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse. Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Let's talk about the nose first.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Let's see if he recognizes this person.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
His face, I guess. So that's what's on there.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
An image of a parrot just came into my head.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes, Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
Seamus.
Pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Okay, that's quite helpful then.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Hi Luna. Not brought any more birds in, have you? No. Right, so we've got an electric buzzer. We can't go back there. Let's try the police station. Oh, we can make a phone call. Is that the shop owner again, the tailor?
Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
There's a little sparkly sound when you get a new bit of info. I just noticed.
Excuse me, Sergeant.
What do you want now?
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his right cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
He's such a useless police officer, isn't he? I want to do this. I want to do it electrically.
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Oh.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
That's some pointy beard he's got.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Doctor. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
Closed?
But
I've been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Looks like Ming the Merciless with a beard.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No. You must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobart.
Oh, is that all we're going to get then?
So long, Inspector. See you later, Sergeant.
Right, so where we're going? With the we could probably be going to the hotel, couldn't we? I presume that's the hotel over there. It is, so I couldn't see the text appearing up the top. I need a quick bio break. I shall be right back though. Okay, back again. Right, let's head to the hotel. Oh, there's a back way, maybe. Because they're probably not going to let us in, are they?
The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. Nope, I don't.
I don't want to shake his hand with the electric.
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never
That's-
saw it.
Some moustache he's got there.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you, I don't know it.
have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No, that name means nothing to me.
Nothing.
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
We won't try anything else with them. Can we actually go in? I want to look around there. Very posh hotel.
The woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight. Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Lady Piermont. The voice as well, the act just sounds very like the one that was in... It is! Beneath a Steel Sky adventure game. There was a Lady Piermont in that and it was the same voice. I wonder if they were both written by the same company. This is Revolution Software, was that not who did? Beneath a Steel Sky as well. Just having a look. Yeah, Lady Piermont shares her name with Mrs. Danielle Piermont in Revolution's other successful game, Beneath a Steel Sky. Hazel Ellaby did the voice. So it's the same developer, and it's the same voice, same actress, and the same name. I recognised it as soon as you spoke. We just played that recently as well. I replayed the first one and I played the new one, Beyond a Steel Sky.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I really enjoyed playing Beneath a Steel Sky again.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
Yeah, there's a sequel. It came out this year. Beyond a Steel Sky. Graphics, of course, were updated a lot. And it was more. It was 3D. You could walk about more. It was very good. I enjoyed it, and the story continued straight on. Well, maybe a few years after the original game, but you were playing the same character. It was definitely worth playing if you enjoyed the first one. I did a complete playthrough. It should still be up on my YouTube channel.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
It was third person.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Wonder who he is then.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
I wonder if she's thinking of the other cheek.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
See if she knows who this is.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honour. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase.
Where are we? I was just gonna link. It's the playlist for Beyond the Steel Sky.
Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
Okay. Let's have a talk to this chap that keeps flicking his newspaper.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Good morning, below the stone. It's going okay. We're back with Broken Sword 1. We're getting on okay. We haven't got stuck. How are you today? Yeah.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have.
That's good. I had a slight sore head again, but I've just taken something for it, so...
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England. Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Okay, Dronin, I'll save it just after I finish talking to this guy. Are cats below the stone, or any of the ones I've been posting up that are missing? I tend to post up share a lot of missing cat posts. They're doing fine.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Baron's a lot better today. Well, he was better yesterday. He was back to normal, really. So, I think they're both out. I can't see them in their baskets. So. Let's save. We've got a telephone box. No, I think they're both out. We had a. I had to come off because one of the Luna, I think, had found a dead bird, so it had dragged it into the dining room. Well, that's where you eat, isn't it? So I had to go take it out again. Oh, he looks very officious. What's he doing with his fingernail? Oh, is he filing his nails? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, I haven't got my stream avatars going, I just noticed. Let me get my stream avatars going. Yeah, it won't work. So I haven't got it running. It should be coming up in a minute. Stream avatars works for anybody that follows the channel. Once it's loaded. It's taking a long time. I did tell it to run. Let me just... Oh, here it goes. Let's come in. There we go. Well, let's go talk to this officious looking guy.
The clerk wore a disdainful expression, like he'd been born with it. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
What's that?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
It's a safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique
It's a
ID.
unique
You won't find
operation
any more
scar.
unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
They're very well done, aren't they? And we just found something out. I'll have to go back and talk to the lady playing the piano. But, let me talk to this guy and we'll see if you spot it as well. Yeah, there's nothing much in the paper, is there?
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
He
Maybe
looks
not,
like...
but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
He looks a bit like the children's snatcher, is it? From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang film. Child snatcher or something. Or child... What was it again? Well, I could use the buzzer on him, couldn't I? Let's have a look at the register. But before we do that, I want to go over here. Let's see if we can talk to the lady again. See if you recognise the voice and the...
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, darling.
I don't know if you recognise. She's called Lady Piermont. Where have we met Lady Piermont before? Exactly. And both games are written by the same developer. Revolution Software. And it's the same actress. Because I just looked it up. As soon as I heard the voice, I thought, oh, I recognise your name. Your voice. So, and then she said her name, and I thought I recognise the name as well.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
How do we get that key? We need to come in the back door or something. There was a passage around the side of the hotel. Yeah, it was interesting to look it up. He's not going to let us take that key.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Let's go out and round the side of the hotel and see if we can sneak in.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
They've gone to a great deal of work with animations for almost doing everything. Whereas normally you just get the same animations, don't you, when you're picking up stuff and that. I was going to say, John, and I stream adventure games every Saturday morning, or try to. And I sort of play other games on the other days that I stream. Down another back alley. I don't think we're going to get in this way, are we? There's nothing here. I felt sure we were going to manage to sneak in here. Yeah, it's got a lock on it, but I can't click on it. I can only go back that way. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably planning on starting, once I finish this one, I'll play Siberia 1, and then I'll go back to the second Broken Sword game. And vice versa after that. I do a lot of first looks on the indie games as well. Usually on a Wednesday morning. Yeah, it seems to have a lock on it. We can't do anything. I was sort of expecting to be able to do something here. And there's no manhole cover. We don't have a great deal on us. Let's try going up the stair. It was the second room on the right, so it's that one.
The sign on the door read 21. If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room.
And he's not
the
in just now.
The sign on the door read 22.
Because the concierge said he'd gone out.
The sign on the door read 22.
And it's locked.
The door was locked.
Right, let's use the electric thingy on him. Or we could get one of them to help. But let's try the electric thing.
What now, monsieur?
I've just been manhandled by a gorilla.
Yes? I do not see any signs of a gorilla.
No, not a real gorilla. It was a guy who looked like a gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this quite clear. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Oh, key. He's not going to give us the key, is he?
Aren't you concerned that your guests are being intimidated by gangsters?
No one else has complained, monsieur. Did they steal anything from you?
Well, no. They didn't find what they were looking for.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't think they did either. About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
So is he a way out with key 22?
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Rats. So which country is he referring to when he thought he said rats?
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well,
that'll be the catchphrase in this one, rats.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur.
Oh.
I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We're going to have to get the other two guests to help us, I think.
I insist you give me the key to Merlin's room.
I cannot do that, monsieur.
This guy Merlin is a menace.
So you say, monsieur.
He's not only a danger to society, but to your guests as well. He has toyed with the affections of Lady Piermont.
Ciel! Are there no depths to which he will not sink?
Precisely. He's already killed once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times. With your help, I just might be able to stop him.
But what if he finds out I have helped you? No, I cannot do it.
I'm going to try him with the nose and that.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Non, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Right, how are we going to get this key? I'm just wondering if we try the electric shock on the two guys outside. But I might save it before I do that. We're only 12% of the way through the game.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flap.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
I remember that line. Which one will we do? This one.
Get lost, creep.
Oh yeah? And what if I don't? What if I call the cops?
First, I break your arms at the elbows and wrists. Then, when you recover consciousness, I break your fingers.
There's just one flaw in your plans, Ape-Man.
What's that?
It's broad daylight. I don't think even you would assault me on a busy street. Of course, this tranquil square at the end of a cul-de-sac. This isolated corner of Paris that hasn't seen a street sweeper's brush since VE Day. This would be just about perfect for a mugging. Pardon me, I'm about to get very lost.
Oh, he wouldn't let me use the thing.
Hey, Shorty, I didn't think much of your trick, little man. I don't know what you're looking for, but you picked on the wrong guy. Maybe you'll spread the word around the sewers. George Stobart is on the case. That's Stobart. 2 B's and 2 T's. It sounded impressive to me, but the weasel didn't seem to share my enthusiasm. Still, I figured he'd think twice before gunning me down in the street in cold blood.
I do not like your tone.
Oh yeah? And what are you going to do about it?
If you do not go away, I will gun you down in cold blood, right here in the street, without thinking twice.